Hi, and welcome to The Art of Flipping. Today, I've separated out some decoration and design books that came in a box I recently bought of books. And there's an important BOLO in here, be on the lookout, of course. And there's a lesson about buying books that are good for, useful, profitable for FBM, fulfilled by merchant. It may not be that attractive at all under FBA. And one of the reasons for this is to pay careful attention to when a book is just in really high, nice condition. Not all of them are going to be the decision about potential profitability is going to rise dramatically because of that. But in many cases, it does, often enough that it's worth paying attention to. I've also put some of the duds in here to show the differences as we look. And we'll look first. I'm not going to go through all the prices on the duds. These were several dollars at best. They were even in new condition. Some of them were selling for less than $5 on Amazon. Somebody is dumping big time with the new storage fees and long-term storage fees and the routine storage fees going up. Decorating Year-Round by Better Homes and Gardens was a dud. Entertaining with Southern Living by Margaret Chasen Agnew was another dud. Style on a Budget from Better Homes and Gardens was a dud. These are in nice condition for the most part. This one has Ethan Allen style, has some pretty severe wear up on the tear up on the top edge of the dust jacket. Otherwise, just minor edge rub, and the spine is pretty good. A little bit bumped on the bottom, but nothing bad. That was a dud. Christopher Lowell's 7 Layers of Design was another dud. I don't need to show comps on all these. That's the lesson. It got a little better with Christmas with Southern Living. This is from 1982, and this is the kind of thing that next fall I'm going to put on Etsy as part of my Etsy experiment on design books and stuff. I'm going to list it for, say, $8 or so. I don't know, 10. And it's typically a $4 or $5 book. It might be worth trying to sell on a platform where you also answer questions, you give them unique pictures like you would on eBay, and you pay very careful attention to the grading and your reputation. That might be a fun part of the experiment to try. Then there's the lesson that I learned in Lynette Jennings' Straight Talk on Decorating. This book is nearly new. It would not sell for that much if it was being sold used. It's a first edition, first printing. Neither is stated. That's what's presumed in such cases. It's cheap on eBay and everywhere else. It has a very, very, very small tear up at the top of over here. Let's see if I can get that. Very, very, very small tear. And other than that, it's, the dust jacket would have been near fine. The book is near fine. And because that's as high as I like to grade anything. I could see why the FBA crowd would pass it up. The BSR, or book sales rank, is 5,873,097. That equates to about one book sale per month, and there are a reasonable number of them listed. It will take a while for this to clear, but I can put it up for $18. It's listed as a very good book, and describe the fault and describe the rest of its virtues, and it would probably sell. That's a lot of the. If it was near fine, and I listed it as like new, it would be at least $30. So people are getting a $12 break because of that tiny little tear. Then this is the more interesting, the BOLO of the day, and it's not just this particular book. I mean, I saw Creating a New Old House, and I thought that's pretty cool. And for people to do that, that's a little expensive, but I didn't really see the difference until I went online and looked at the value. And this book I can list out there for anything from $75 to $110. I mean, 75 would be low. Let's say 85 to 110, and it will sell. It's a interesting book. It's the first edition, second printing. One of the things that's interesting about this book is that there's 7 used copies available on Amazon, beginning at $90.80. There's 3 new copies beginning at $134.55, but let's forget about the new copies for a second. And the BSR is 2,475,474. That indicates 2 sales a month. The interesting thing about this is if you look at the Keepa chart, you can see the price bouncing around a bit at around the $90 mark or $80 mark, whatever, somewhere towards 100. And you see it bouncing around a little bit. So either the price bots have been very active, or the more likely the book is actually selling at that kind of price. Keepa, even if I was to upgrade from the free version that I'm using to the professional version, or whatever they call it, the pay version, which is rather expensive, doesn't really tell you how much something's sold. It just kind of gives you a sales rank. So it ain't going to answer the question. You have to look at the chart, and in these charts we can see that the used book price has been up towards $100 for over a year. It's moved around, and more importantly, the BSR indicates that it's selling about 2 books a month, and the BSR is based on the data for the last year. So combining the BSR with the price chart to show you that it's been a high price book for over a year indicates to me that the book is actually selling. Sorry for the long explanation, but it's taken me quite a while to figure out how you arrive at that kind of result, especially just using information freely available. I'm going to list the book eventually, and we will see what happens. I'm trying to make a data-driven channel with results, with experiments, and showing real-world examples without walking around through the bins, through the thrift stores, and stuff like that. If you find the information I'm providing helpful, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe or like the video, but subscribing and actually visiting the channel from time to time would help me build something that would be a good community for all of us. If you have any comments or questions or suggestions, maybe an alternate way of attacking some of these issues and unknowns that I'm discussing, let me know about it in the comments, and we'll begin a discussion. Thank you very much, and remember, if you're not listening, you're hoarding. Take care.